A very good morning to you, and thank you as always for keeping it NTV and morning at NTV in particular. And it's the sports segment. I'm Elvis Senono to take you through some of the latest headlines in the world of sport. Lots of sport as we head into the weekend, and that includes both domestic and international action. We have the StarTimes Uganda Premier League. We are into match day 21 as the league enters the final bend of the 30 games that will be played. We also have the National Basketball League that will be happening at various grounds throughout the weekend. We also have the National Rugby Premiership, which enters match day 6, and we'll have a game between the reigning champions, Pirates, and the Impies, who are riding high so far this season, and lots of international football from the major European leagues and teams that you follow, and we'll be keeping you up to date with all those details. But to start the morning sports update, this Friday we have a unique edition, and we're going to be discussing lots of swimming as we head into the 9th edition of the Water and Environment Week. We're going to be talking about swimming and how we can inculcate it into our culture, because it is viewed as something foreign or exotic for many of our viewers, and that's from personal experience. But we're going to be discussing a lot of the swimming, and we have engineer Winnie Namagembe this morning to help us break down how we can add safety or use even swimming as a sport, and then also use it as a tool to prevent some very many unavoidable deaths. When you look at some of the statistics, they can be mind-blowing, and this is something that you think is largely unavoidable. So we're going to be talking the swimming, water and environment this morning on the sports update. I'm Elvis Senono as always, and like I said, I have Winnie Namagembe, an engineer who is well versed with the topic of discussion this morning. Good morning, Winnie, and thank you for joining us again on Morning at NTV.
Yes, thank you, Elvis. Good morning once again.
And yes, the topic is this morning is quite different from what you've discussed when you are here previously. But this morning we would like to talk water and environment, and we have the 9th week, rather the 9th. We have the 9th edition of the Water and Environment Week that will be happening. That is the following week. But most importantly, those stats that I cause for a worry personally.
Yeah. Yes, thank you, Elvis. To our dear viewers, good morning. Yes, once again, Engineer Winnie Namagembe from Ministry of Water and Environment. I'm a focal point person on drowning prevention in the ministry. And why I'm here really is to bring to you the worrying statistics on drowning in this country. The World Health Organization released a report in 2024, and this report was showing we lose 300,000 people annually. And Uganda alone will contribute 3,000 to that statistic, because we lose 8 people every day to drowning. So as a ministry, key stakeholders in the drowning spaces, we felt like, because the World Health Organization gave us like guidelines to follow, and one of them is to create awareness in the masses. One that we are doing right now. Thank you to NTV for hosting us here, and to our viewers who are listening in there. We can all work together towards this really burden, because every day, whether you know it or you don't know it, people are dying, and little is known regarding drowning. As Elvis highlighted before, it's considered, swimming is considered for the elite in this country. So we are encouraging everyone to learn something, learn swimming, teach your children to swim. It's a skill that everyone should learn, because this report is showing that children aged 6 to 14 are the ones that are most vulnerable. So we have to teach our children to swim. Yes.
Well, quite interesting. So I've also got to learn this morning, belatedly, that you have a swimming gala in regard to that very subject. So how do you mix the sport and then try to educate the public as well about the dangers of not being able to swim?
Okay. Yes, Elvis. Like you'll note that swimming actually is known as a sport. It's a sport that children can use probably competitively to win maybe scholarships, to win medals. But in water safety, we encourage every child to learn to swim because these are some of the survival skills each one of us needs to do. At least you need to tread the waters. You need to learn to float. So as Ministry of Water, while celebrating our 9th Uganda Water and Environment Week, the week is from 23rd to 27th this month. But we have pre-events that are taking place from 17th up to 22nd. So on 21st of this month, that is next Saturday, we're having a swimming gala at Green Hill Academy, Chibuli. The gala is for children, aged, like we have 4 swimming clubs that are going to represent. And we are having also life-saving skills like demonstrations from the Life Saving Association of Uganda to demonstrate, to show if you're involved in maybe a flood or you're in a lake or you have a child near a pool that is involved in drowning, how can you help? So that is what we are trying to showcase, and also creating awareness about the drowning burden. Yes.
There seems to be a particular emphasis on schools.
Yeah.
Outside of the schools, are there any other initiatives that you're trying to come up with that can involve the communities and ensure that we completely avoid some of these situations?
Yes, thank you so much. When it comes to communities, Reach a Hand Uganda is having projects like in Masakara, Kai, Mayuge, where they are training. They have set up swimming pools because I know yes, swimming mostly happens in the lake, but we have to simulate a condition like where we can first control, teach them the basics of swimming. So Reach a Hand is training those people in those communities how to swim, how to take care of themselves in case of survival, and they're also sensitizing those communities how to use life jackets, what kind of life jackets, when you're going on a boat, what do you need to do? You need to avoid overcrowded boats, you need to avoid being drunk while on water. The swimming gears you're using, the boat has to be of like good standard. So, and together with Marine, they are enforcing those standards to ensure that the drowning cases reduce on the water bodies. As
a person who stays in Nansana, and there is obviously no water body around Nansana, but there are ponds and even swamps. How do you reach out to a person like me or people in my neighborhood and ensure that they get to learn these life skills? Because when you talk about hosting, say, that event of the 9th Water and Environment Week at Green Hill, personally, for me, it still sounds exotic. Maybe I can go to Green Hill because it is a lot close to some of our National Media Group offices. It's a lot close to Namuwongo, and having grown up around that area. So maybe I can pass by. What about I would like to describe them as ordinary Ugandans.
Okay.
How apart from this water week and the gala that we have, how do they get involved?
Yes, thank you, Elvis. Like when it comes to that day of the gala, the exhibitions, we shall have media. They'll be showcasing on different TV and radio stations, but also as an individual, like if you learn something like Elvis, you're in Nansana, you said you don't have water bodies nearby, but you've noted there are swamps, there are ponds. Before you even know it, it is flooding around Kampala on your way to here.
It definitely does.
Yes, so you need to learn, once probably the people who be able to come to the event, they'll learn a skill. You're like, okay, when I'm involved maybe in a flood, I should avoid places I don't know their depth. You should avoid driving in a flooded area. That alone can cause an incident. So once you learn something, you can teach to your communities, because everyone can do something to prevent drowning.
Yeah, because actually there is a tendency of people when it starts raining, especially in the afternoon, everyone wants to get home early. So it starts raining, you see people moving out of their offices, and all of a sudden it is crowded and there is lots of traffic, and before you know it, you are encountering a situation that you describe. But again, for me, it's part of the community. How do you access, for example, that swimming gala on Saturday? Okay, yes. How do you access the swimming gala? Is everyone welcome? Today we are here speaking English, but we have, especially in our urban centers, we have a large population that might be listening, but might think, bali mu bya luzungu.
Yes, this gala, Elvis, is open to everyone, like every members of the community. You can all come and participate. You just need to pay 10,000 to come and at least learn a thing, watch the gala. First of all, it's entertaining as it's a sport. You'll see children showcasing their different skills and talents, but also learn from the Life Saving Association that, oh, this is what we need to do in case someone has drowned. How do I save them? Like when they're out, how do you do resuscitation and things like that? But then to the children, if you have a child, you're like, how is my child going to be involved in this? For now, you can just come with them. As I've mentioned before, that we have like 4 swimming clubs that have already been selected to come and showcase. It's a showcase, but going forward, we are going to involve schools, go to the different schools, because we have campaigns to train these children, because we know that once we are raising a generation that is at least water safe, and with that means we are going to raise very many generations to come when they know about water and they can at least save someone from drowning. Yes.
Do you have the numbers of people who can educate the communities?
For now, I don't have off head, but at least if given a minute, I can be able to share them. But for one of them, we have Reach a Hand Uganda, as I've mentioned before. We also have the Life Saving Association of Uganda. We have Swim Safe Uganda. So all those are organizations that are helping. There are so many others. And as individuals, we are also pertinent to that. Once I learn something, I can come and teach you. You can teach another. So everyone doing something to prevent drowning. Because it's a preventable incident. So we can all do something.
Then it's the week described as a Water and Environment Week. Could you probably explain more about what the theme is all about?
Okay, yes, it's water and environment, because we are Ministry of Water and Environment. So every year we celebrate the Uganda Water and Environment Week. And today, this time around, our theme is an inclusive Uganda. Like, we want for prosperity for all. That's why we are putting in children at the forefront of this swimming gala, to know that if they are safe, if they are not dying from drowning, we are including them in our agenda to make sure that they are safe, communities are safe, everyone has something to at least take away from this. So as Ministry of Water and Environment, besides the swimming gala, we also do cleanups. Currently, we have the walkers. They've been walking from Moroto. They will reach Kampala next week on 20th. So they've been working for environment. They've been planting trees. And we know our climate has been affected and all that. So when we plant trees, when we, help reduce on the death rates, we are growing our economy, growing our people, and in the long run, we are all prospering as a country.
I'll make an admission this morning.
Yeah.
I'm one of those very many Ugandans who do not know how to swim.
That's scary. Yet you're in sports. That's very scary.
So if I want to change my situation, how do I go about it?
Actually, it's never too late. Personally, I didn't know how to swim. But after
you swim?
I swim. Actually, most times I swim early morning before going to work. Like I'm at the pool at 5:30 or 6, then when I'm done, I go to work. So it's never too late. It's just a mindset. You put it in your head, you're like, I can begin from where I am. And you need only 14 days actually to be able to at least float. The confidence, of course, might take some time, like a month, but at least to float. Actually, if you're good, you can even float in 2 days. So it's good to learn that skill, and you can start from somewhere. You just have to give up on your fears, and you're like, let me.
And we have some not Ugandans. Some do not even want to bathe.
Interesting.
So is it that easy, the way you explain it?
It is. It is. I've told you, it's just an issue of the mindset. Once that, because what really inspired me were, you know, these figures. These are so many people dying every day. And I'm like, right now you might not feel it because no one connected to you is dying. But when it comes to a relative or someone you know, you'll be like, oh, I need to do something. But I'm like, no, I didn't want to wait for that. I'm like, you know what? I need to do something to prevent this cause. Because one day I'll be probably at the pool with my children and one attempts to drown, or not even my children, or someone else. But I have to be able to save a life. That's why we are like, anyone can do something to prevent drowning. And that something is you starting by, okay, let me take up swimming lessons.
I'm still not convinced.
You are. No.
How do you get a person of my age with a pot belly?
Wow.
to get into a swimming pool?
Anyone can swim. As I've told you, actually now that is the mindset of most of our people that we have to deal with. So we are doing more of these sensitizations to help our people learn, like, you know what, it's not about my stature, it's not about my physique or what. Because we have, you see, we have Paralympics in Uganda. I hope you've heard that. So it's not about whether you're lame or what. Anything that, but very actually the water can help trim it. So you have to take up this sport.
My colleagues seem to be laughing at me. Let's end the discussion.
No, if those points have really not encouraged you to swim, I think we need to have a further discussion on this because really we have to do something. Because remember, swimming is a full body actually exercise, better than gym, because your entire body is even working out from your brain and you get. So you start your day fresh, you end your day fresh. So you just have to take up that courage and you're like, you know what? Let me grace the pool. Yeah.
Thank you, Winnie, for your time. I'll probably need to convince many of my colleagues. And I think Priscilla, Regina Naruega, is one of those who knows how to swim.
Okay.
The way she's laughing at my admission has come from very far place. But I've admitted I don't know how to swim, and she's laughing at me.
And that is the first step, at least, acknowledging that, you know, there's a problem, so we can have a solution to that.
So she's even creating more fear. And I'm sure I'm speaking for so many others, so many other middle-aged men who do not know how to swim and probably going to be stigmatized.
No. Actually, that's why they tell us, like...
And my director this morning is in my ear telling me that you cannot teach an old dog new tricks.
that's not true. When it comes to life skills, you can start from, you know, haven't you had people starting ballet at 50 years when you feel your bones are already stiff and all that? So it's all about your mindset. Change your mindset and you know you can do something. And you know, in drowning prevention, there's something we have like your story can change your life. So now there are some people really who you could be stigmatized or traumatized because of an incident you witnessed or you had. But you know, once you come out of that, you're like, okay, how do I deal with this trauma? It's probably by maybe addressing this challenge. Because you're like, if maybe I'm traumatized by some time or when I was young, I saw someone drowning and I couldn't do anything. So that means I can learn to avoid that happening in future. You could be a grandfather helping your great-grandchildren somewhere. So yeah.
Hopefully I get an offer from Winnie Namagembe, an engineer from the water and from the Ministry of Water and Environment, to get me into swimming. But for inspiration purposes, we have a colleague in the media industry who shared the story. I don't know if you've seen it over the past month or so, and actually has children who are taking part in the National Primary Championships. Should be something close to that. Don Wanyama, from the former colleague, of course, here at Nation Media Group, a few years older than me, but shared a story of how he got into swimming. And he was persuaded by his children. This story I'm telling is about 3 months old, just 3 months ago. So that's how he got into swimming. Late, okay, he's into his 40s already, but he didn't know how to swim. He was challenged, teased, and then eventually persuaded to get into the pool. And he says that that has changed his life. So some sort of inspiration that we can take up, but I'll need a lot of convincing to get into the pool. Maybe if Winnie and the Ministry of Water and Environment offer, get me an offer, I probably might hit the pool anytime soon. So anytime you see a 5'4" 3" Ugandan with a bit of a pot belly getting into a swim, it could be me. But thank you for joining us this morning on Morning at NTV. The sports update has been quite unique. We've had Winnie Namagembe from the Ministry of Water and Environment, and we're talking swimming. You have the swimming gala that is coming up
on 21st.
The 21st of this month. That's a few days from now, and we'll hope that you get some inspiration from our talk this morning. But apart from that, lots of sporting action happening throughout the weekend. But we'll have time in our subsequent shows. That is at 12:30 p.m. when Justin comes up on Sport Today. I'll also be back at 1:30 p.m. on Omomuli Gwemizanyo alongside David and Dennis we should have something special from the Hoima City Stadium as they gear up to the first competitive game in the stadium as part of the preparations, as well as in the build-up to the AFCON 2027 that Uganda will be co-hosting alongside Kenya and Tanzania. That's it from